at school, all students usually listen to their teachers. They do what the teacher wants them to do, and they do it without any questions or without any process. So, should students be allowed to protest? Hi everyone, my name is Lily. In my opinion, I believe that students should be allowed to protest because I think that everyone should be allowed to protest, not even students. Protesting is like the right to protest is very. It sometimes doesn't count for most people. There are only a few people who can protest, and the rest can't protest. So I want everyone to be able to protest. So I will talk about two reasons why I believe that students should be allowed to protest. Now, firstly, I believe that students should be allowed to protest because they have their own right to protest. So if students think that something is wrong or something it isn't for them, like they think that there's something wrong with their homework or something wrong with the teacher, like the teacher doesn't teach very well, and they protest at school and they say that they should have another teacher, and that is kind of like protesting. So when students have something wrong, or they think that something is wrong, they have the right to protest. Even if their opinions are wrong, then they still have that right to do it. It doesn't mean that if they protest, that it is completely against the law. Everyone should be allowed to protest because they have their own right to do things, they have their own right to do whatever they want. So if you think that your teacher doesn't teach you very well, you tell the school that, and you say that the school shouldn't hire the teacher and instead should hire another teacher. And you can protest to the school like that. And maybe if you are wrong, it doesn't cause any harm. It doesn't mean that teachers might hate you a bit, but you still have the right to protest, and it doesn't bring you, and it still brings you a little bit of courage and confidence. Now, for my second reason, I believe that students should be allowed to protest because sometimes the teachers are wrong, and nobody is brave enough to protest. It's only the students because students are young. They're young and they feel like they can do anything. They can do what they want because they are young and people can boss them around, which is sometimes how I feel about school. I feel that sometimes the teachers do mean, sometimes the teachers are too kind, sometimes they don't teach very well, and I just want another teacher, but I don't exactly protest because if I protest then it will bring me a lot of bad things. But I do have the thought of about the teachers, about the homework and everything like that. So sometimes the school can be wrong too. It's not like the school is right every time, and when no one is brave enough to protest, then that wrong thing will still stay there forever and ever and doesn't even change. It doesn't change. And when something doesn't change, something that is wrong, something that's incorrect, when it doesn't change, it leads to more problems, more troubles, and even more changes. So in conclusion, I believe that students should be able to protest because everyone, especially students, have their own right to do what they want, and also students should be allowed to protest because sometimes the school can be wrong and the students can be right, and when they protest, that wrong can be put right. So that's all my opinion about protesting, and take a listen.